Welcome to another episode of Housing to Hope podcast. Today, we're interviewing Tamara, program manager at the Alex, one of the housing programs at Atira. Thank you for joining us, Tamara.
Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it.
I'm so glad we finally able to connect and have this chance to interview. I remember a few months ago, I was at the Housing and the Safety Forum conference, and you were sharing your story, which was very empowering and uplifting. And I was thinking to myself that, and I remember we had that conversation, that would it be nice to just sit down and talk to you so you can share and elaborate more about your stories? And here we are.
Yes.
So could you share with us the story of your journey and how Atira came to play a role in it?
Absolutely. This is a big part of my life. When I was brought to Atira, it was about, I want to say 13, just over 13 years ago. And I was not in a good place. I was in a violent relationship. I was about 6.5, 7 months pregnant with my son, and I was addicted to opiates. I was using as a way to cope with the abuse that I was suffering. And, it's interesting. I think it was my sister's friend, and she just suggested I call this number. And by the grace of God, I called Maxine Wright shelter, and I got in within a week. And, in this world, it's really not that easy these days. For whatever reason, I was very blessed, and they took me in. Um, full of emotions, blaming myself. I'm a woman, I'm pregnant, I'm using, but, I got there and they had this little gift basket set up for me, and, they're like, it's going to be okay. And they took me in, they provided a caring, safe space, and I gave birth to a healthy boy. And, I was on my own at that time. I didn't have a lot of family and friends, and I couldn't have imagined having to navigate motherhood on my own. So having the staff, having the support workers, having the other women who were in the shelter as well, giving me mom advice and just taking baby for me and helping me out, hearing their stories and learning from them. I'm forever grateful for the supports. And, it wasn't just a safe space. It went on to send me to a second stage housing, and then eventually 2 years later on to permanent housing. But, they also helped me work on my self-esteem, my empowerment, the 16 steps, searching for a new job. It was so much more than that. And so that's how I was introduced to Atira. And years down the road, fast forward, I was offered a job to, support women who were in my situation at that time. So now today I'm very grateful to be in this role and using my experience to help others.
That's amazing, very uplifting and inspirational. I remember, speaking of the role and you being a program manager, 2 months ago, we were at the Alex's 1 year anniversary, and you did an amazing job organizing it. And you gave this amazing speech. And I really enjoyed and I felt the energy and it was amazing how much amount of work you put in. It was fun. It was coming from your soul and your heart. I could totally feel it. Can you tell us a little bit about the Alex and the program and the features that it offered to the residents?
Absolutely. So, what is a little bit different about the Alex from some of our other programs is we are a woman-led program. This means that uh, partners, boyfriends, husbands, and children are also allowed to live in these beautiful units. So that's great. There's not a lot of options for family housing. So we are located in Port Coquitlam in the Tri-Cities. We are really connected to the schools and many of the different community organizations out here. Um, there's definitely a housing crisis in the Tri-Cities as well. So it's been great to be able to offer safe, affordable housing to women and children and families out here in this neck of the woods. We have a lot of refugee families here. We have women who have come from battered shelters. We have women and children who, are fleeing less than great situations. So we really have a diverse group here. And what I really love about the Alex is there is a want to engage and there's unity here. And so when we put on programming, everyone really accepts it and embraces it. And it's everything from, our gardening plots outside, and we have movie nights that we put on for the kids. We did a self-defense class last week. We had a big Mother's Day celebration. And yeah, it's just been, we're a new program. Like I said, we started moving folks in January of 2023. So we're just navigating everything still. We're just a baby, but it has been going well. And I'm excited to see where we continue to go.
That's and I remember the when we were at the event, I remember the some of the quotes and testimonial of the residents, and it shows how much of a difference the program is making right in the lives of people. So definitely something that I think it's worth to talk about and let others know that, especially you, that coming from that humbling experience, you have that lived experience and now you're giving back to communities and creating these programs to others. It shows how much of determination, what someone with the lived experience has to contribute now, right? It's time for contributing to others. Speaking of that, I wanted to ask you because uh, there are a lot of women right now and individuals with difficult situations that they might be in the same position that you were years ago when you before prior to coming on board in Atira. What is your advice or maybe a word of inspiration that you can give to them?
I would just say be easy on yourself. Take advantage of the help. It's okay to ask for help and take that help. Um, we all have a greater purpose. We all fall down, but it's about setting those goals and refocusing on those goals. And, Atira has amazing support workers, amazing staff. Um, they're just there to guide. They're not there to tell you what to do, but they can offer suggestions. And yeah, a lot of our workers have that lived experience. And, for example, we have women here who are navigating the ministry. I myself did have MCFD involvement. And so I'm able to share that experience. And at the end of the day, just know you don't have to go through anything alone. The women in the programs, the support workers, we're all there to go along with you. So, yeah.
That's amazing. I love how supportive the programs are, especially at the Alex. I wanted to ask you and maybe end this interview with this question, because this is Housing to Hope podcast. How does Housing to Hope look like to you?
I think it's what we're doing at Atira. I think it's more than here is a roof, here's your house, have at it. It's more than that. Housing to Hope is breaking down the barriers that come along with how, lack of housing and poverty. A lot of our women, even for a woman, a single mother, there's these extra layers that we have to battle through. And, Atira has such a wide and like extensive amount of community partners and organizations that we're connected with. Um, I think that's what it's about. It's, the women, they come to us, a lot of them are broken and they need extra help. And we're familiar and we understand where we can get that help for them. And it's never anything that's ever forced. We meet women where they're at. And yeah, I think Atira does a really good job at installing hope in the women. Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for the work and amazing job that you are doing for the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much.